Hi guys, welcome to Uriel Atlas. Welcome back. I'm Cordy, and today we're going to do some a little bit of how-to involved in it, but I'm going to do some light work, some energy healing, telekinesis of spinal adjustments. So it's kind of like going to the chiropractor, except I'm doing remote energy work to create that same result. It's going to be, you may or may not feel or hear the actual cracking like a chiropractor does, but the many times the result I get is the pain is just gone and they feel that, or it's drastically subsided and they have simple muscle inflammation that they need to release and put an ice pack on or something like that. But the spinal alignment ends up straight. So the first thing we're going to do, first I want to give you a little preface. When you go to manifest something, all physical matter is created by the space, by the information in the 99.99999% of space that's surrounding the physical particle in an atom. That space is not empty. It's full of light codes and information. And that information fills your magnetic field, your biomagnetic field. Okay? And the field around, in and through all things. Okay? It's universal omniscience. It's universal all-knowingness, omniscience, one science, one knowingness. But that space, so many people focus so much on that tiny little physical particle. The physical particle is the result of the codes encoded in the space surrounding it and in between it. So the first step that we do is to heal and balance the codes in the space. And that sounds complicated on the surface, but you just program it with your intentions. Your love and your gratitude is super powerful, okay, as your feelings. So when you're doing this, you want to become one with it. Expand your consciousness out. You are not separate from that energy. Okay? Feel it. And feel its presence. So, we heal the field. And I'm going to do this by first, and you can go back. There's a very detailed how-to, an advanced how-to. It was the first and second videos that I did that are on YouTube that explain how to balance your chakras. So the first thing we're going to do to get this field, your energetic field, balanced is we're going to balance those chakras out. Okay? So I'm going to do that first. Balance the chakras. That balances the field with those intentions. And then the field, and then in turn, I go in and I do an energetic popping of the back, neck, and it's also going to relieve joint pains and things like that. So we want to release the inflammation on the physical particles once we have the field encoded properly and balanced. Okay, so blockages in your field are what create the blockages in your spine and on the physical. So you see where I'm tying this together. So one thing I'm going to want you to do, and I'll have another video on this, is as soon as this I've finished doing light work on you, I want you to, if you don't have any, go get some distilled water. Go get several gallons of it. Distilled water is what all of us should be drinking. I'll have another video explaining this in depth. It is pure, perfect H2O. No minerals. That's a lie that's going around. That's perpetuated by the pharmaceutical industry. So we got to unprogram ourselves, guys, and think properly. Your body is nearly 80% water. Water is perfect H2O. It's not H2O plus minerals. Get your minerals from your fruits and vegetables. So I'm getting off into that subject, but I want you to go get the distilled water, because what it does is it, so what they're not telling you is you have there's two types of minerals. You have living, harmonious, balanced minerals that are alive, that are photosynthetic, that the cellular structure and everything, atomic structures are balanced. Those are photosynthetic. They receive light and they hold light because it's a balanced structure. Just like I explained in those, in the advanced balancing and healing video. Your chakras have to be balanced, otherwise those petals, which are sine waves, which are phases that are out of alignment, okay, and you're sending energy out and you're losing energy. Balancing that phase brings that chakra back into the alignment. Well, the same is true: as above, so below; as without, so within. The same is true on the physical matter and these minerals. The living potassium, the living calcium are from living fruits, photosynthetic fruits and vegetables. They're alive, they're photosynthetic, they have a negative molecular magnetism that pulls light and holds light into that field, into that structure, and it holds it there. Dead minerals, commonly found in dirt and rocks. You're not eating dirt and rocks, are you? You'd rather eat fruits and vegetables. Why is that? Well, because you naturally know the difference. There's potassium in the dirt. Are you going to go eat the dirt? No. Let's get some potassium from an orange. Okay? These minerals that are being put into your water, and it's the same with alkaline water. That's just another label placed on it, on waters that are infused with these dead minerals, and many of them are synthetic. They're not even really, they're dead, but they're also falsely made and with intentions of discord. Okay? It's like the fluoride that's in the water that's calcifying you guys' pineal gland, which is incredibly important. Stop putting fluoride in your toothpaste. Stop getting toothpaste with fluoride in it. Stop drinking fluoridated water. Stop bathing in fluoridated water. Put filters on your water. It's doing so much more damage than many people realize. The fluoride is a real issue. But hopefully we're solving that now by getting that released and getting it pulled out of our water supplies. Because anyways, I'm grateful that these things are getting attention in our society and getting corrected. So these minerals are being infused in your water, and you're being told, well, that alkalinity is a positive molecular magnetism. It does not hold light. It pushes positive, gives it away, gives the light away. It does not hold light. It's a dead mineral. You are what you can eat. You are what you drink. Consume light-bearing water, which is simple, perfect H2O. Okay, distilled means, see, a water molecule has a negative molecular magnetism, and when you have a pool of water or a glass of water, all of those molecules have a perfect negative molecular magnetism. If they're perfect H2O, which distilled water is, means it's distilled because they're all negative. What happens when you have two magnets and you turn the same pole towards each other? They push away from each other. A glass of water is all negative, and they're all negative magnetism, so they're bouncing off of each other. They're full of energy and life, and they're actually a perfect conduit for light to flow through. Okay? And it's distilled. It's not still because all the molecules are alive. They're moving. They're bouncing off of each other. And when you start adding these dead minerals, have a positive molecular magnetism, and water, and that rainwater, that distilled water. Okay, so there's that distilled water has a negative molecular magnetism. There's 4 types of distilled water. You have, meaning they're distilled, they're not still, they're alive. The first one is rain, mist, snow, condensation. Okay, rain, mist, snow, dew, and fog. Okay. The next one is physically distilled. Okay, with artificially distilled, like this distiller right here on my countertop. Hope you can see that. And so you have artificially distilled, rain, goodness, I'm forgetting one. So there's, okay, that's why I wanted to do this one on another video, but it's rain. All right, and the last one is actually urine and breast milk. Oh, that's the third one that I remembered. See how we talk matters. If I said I forgot, but I didn't actually forget, I remembered. So your self-speech matters, guys. The third one is fruit juices. Okay? So because these are living minerals, they're photosynthetic, they have, those living minerals have a negative molecular magnetism. It pulls the light in, okay, and holds the light. And these fruit juices are perfectly distilled because they have living minerals in them. Now, urine is and breast milk are are the most amazing and have the most amazing healing properties. There's over 75 books out that are talking about urine therapy, where you're urine fasting. Your urine is perfectly distilled, but it's the most magnificent of all of the healing distilled waters because it is a genetically encoded message for exactly what's going on in your body, and it has stem cells in it. Because what? It has your blood plasma. And what's in your blood plasma? Stem cells. Stem cells are a blank cell that can rebuild any tissue, bone, muscle, skin. Okay? Distilled water is so important because this negative molecular magnetism, it latches on to everything with a positive molecular magnetism, which is dead tissue and dead things, dead minerals, the alkaline stuff that's killing you. It should have been suspect when a health practice went so viral so fast in a society that's living in opposite land, the opposite of truth. It should have been suspect and raised a red flag when alkaline water went so viral so fast, and everybody took to it. All immediately, it was available in all the convenience stores, and everybody, it's alternative. Cancer can't survive in an alkaline environment. Well, that's a complete lie. That's a lie, okay? Alkalinity only kills cancer if it's ultra alkalized. But the reality is cancer lives in an alkaline environment that it produces for itself. It puts off a membrane that holds back the acidity. Cancer thrives in an alkaline environment, but it dies only if you get it super alkaline, which is also horrible for the rest of your body. So the reality is the acids of the living waters of distilled. It's no longer still because it's alive. The distilled waters latch onto all the dead skin, all the dead cells in your body, and all the dead minerals, and clean your body. But the living minerals and the living cells all have what? They're photosynthetic. You are the temple of light. You are a light bearer. You bear light. But the only thing in you that bears light is the living light. It's the living cells. And the distilled waters, negative molecular magnetism, pushes away from those living cells and it leaves them right where they're at. But it attaches and washes away the dead, the negative molecular magnetisms, the dead stuff has a positive molecular magnetism. So the negative is the one that's photosynthetic. It receives the sunlight. Those negative molecular magnetism cells, or the negative molecular magnetism water, distilled water, latches onto all the dead stuff that's switched over and become a positive molecular magnetism, which is actually leaching out, kind of like those out of balance chakras that are out of phase and they're leaking out because they're out of balance. Those dead cells are out of balance and they're leaking out your energy. It's leaking out of your skin and through your body, and even through your molecular field. So you're losing energy because you're unbalanced, and you're not holding light because these dead molecules are within you. Distilled waters, all four of them latch on to the dead stuff because it's a magnet. It has the proper molecular magnetism that seeks out. And the beautiful thing about it is that distilled water, because they're pushing away from each other, because all those molecules of distilled water have a negative molecular magnetism, so they're like two magnets facing, they push away from each other. When they have that same pole facing each other, it pushes away. So what's happening when you drink the distilled water, or any of the distilled water, fruit juice, rainwater, or that's why rain is so good for your gardens, folks. It's right out. This truth that I'm speaking is right in front of us every time it rains. Everybody knows that is actually paying attention to life and is a student of life. You all know that you can water your garden or your lawn. You can water it every day of the week, and it helps. But you can do that all week long, but then you get a 10-minute rain, and all of a sudden that rain, everything just lights up, flush, green, full of life, because that rain is distilled. It's perfect H2O, and it carries that light down. It actually cleanses your aura as it's coming through your aura if you're standing out in it. It's so beautiful. So these waters heal you. They actually remove the dead skin, the dead molecules within your body. And if you fast, it also anti-ages you. If you fast, especially if you're doing urine fasting, that's the most powerful, because it has the stem cells in it, and it has a genetically encoded message that, when received into the mouth, and yes, I drink my urine every single day. And I'm 44 years old at the making of this video. We've had 80-year-old people come in with white hair, and they do a 30-day fast. And it doesn't have to be your urine just to start off with. Just to get you started, you can start on distilled water. Here's a gallon of it from the store. And if you buy it, when you buy it from the store, which I want you to do after I do this balancing and telekinetic back and neck adjustment and joints on you, I want you to drink at least a gallon of this a day. But when you go to the store, make sure you get this type of bottle, okay? This type of plastic. Do your best to find this type of bottle, because this type of plastic does not leak into the water like those old school plastic milk jug type, okay, that are kind of four-sided cone shaped with the handle built into the bottle. That type of plastic is horrible and leaks into that water. and I don't recommend it. Just do your best to find this. If I'm going to say this, if you don't have any other option but to get that old school milk jug style of distilled water, then so be it. Buy it. Get a few until you can locate this type of jug. The best thing is to make it on your own and go into a glass container like I have here. But make sure you get the distilled water. That type in this jug is great, and it's far better than getting regular spring water or whatever. It's infinitely better than that. So that being said, I highly recommend you get a distiller of your own. They're usually around $100, a little bit over. You can buy one and you can make your own distilled water right in your home. And it's fantastic. So, anything I did not, what do I need to cover still on this topic? So, the distilled waters, when I do this adjustment on you in this light work, it releases toxins that you've built up in your body. And the reason I'm telling you to drink the distilled water is because these toxins have a positive molecular magnetism. They're alkaline. When you drink the distilled water, it latches onto them and flushes those out of your body. Okay? Now, another thing that's right in front of everyone's face to prove what I'm saying. All this talk about alkalinity. What's in your stomach that is directly your entire digestive system? Stomach acid, right? People, got to unprogram ourselves. It's right in front of you. It's acidic. It's the way it's supposed to be. And you're putting antacids, which are alkaline dead stuff, in there to stop your acid reflux because you made a poor choice and ate a bunch of trash. Well, your body is trying to, and you don't want to drink alkaline water because that's undoing what your body is creating to dissolve the trash. It's supposed to be acidic, right? And that's another lie. They quite a few years back, it was a massive scare about acid rain. All rain is acidic. And it's supposed to be that way. That's the blessing. But they're programming you to think that the acid is bad for you. Because what happens, we all watched RoboCop and saw the guy's face melt off from the acid coming out of the tank. Everything is programming you unless you raise your consciousness. The acid is the beauty. That's the light. That's the photosynthetic quality, the pulling, the receiving of that life of the sun, the light. You are the light bearer. Stop worrying about your pH in your body and all these people that are, that they're saying, oh, it makes you alkaline. I heard somebody the other day say lemons were alkaline. No, it's not. It's acidic. That's why they're so awesome. You have, and they're saying they were saying that the lemons were making your body alkaline. Okay, through what process did you receive that information? And I guarantee you, what they did is they took a pH strip and they peed on it. They ate a lemon and they peed on that pH strip. And then the lemon's alkaline. No, the lemon is not alkaline. Your pee was alkaline. Why was your pee alkaline? Because the lemon was acidic and it had a negative molecular magnetism like all distilled water does, and it latched onto all the dead alkaline trash that was in your body and it pulled it out. We have to think consciously about this. Put this through the filter of your divine consciousness. Draw in the light and receive the truth within yourself. When you drink your urine, you have 2 lymph nodes right under your tongue. That genetically encoded message is received by those lymph nodes, and within seconds, if you were bitten by a snake, drink your pee. That's your antivenom. Drink your pee. Within seconds of you being bitten by a venomous snake or anything venomous, drink your pee, and also apply the urine topically to the bite. But that urine goes in, hits these 2 lymph nodes, and the lymph nodes receive that genetically encoded message. It's data, it's information. They can record entire tons of gigabytes and stuff and put it in a vial of water. Perfect distilled water, mind you. Pure H2O. It holds information because what? It holds light. Light is information. Now, when you will start to really know within yourself what food is good and bad for you when you start drinking your own urine, because your urine tells the story. When you're doing a urine fast, when you first start off, the urine it's going to be probably a little salty and have different tastes depending on what you've been consuming. But the urine clears up. It's like people that do, a lot of partying or whatever. When you go out to the bar and you start drinking beer, your pee gets clear pretty fast when you start drinking. And that's what happens with your urine. When you start drinking your urine or any distilled water, it's reactivating your dried up riverbed. The vast majority of people are walking around dehydrated. You first have to saturate the body again, and then the river will get cleaner and cleaner. And when the urine the taste of the urine tastes like coconut water when you're eating properly and you're properly hydrated. It doesn't hardly taste like anything. I've been drinking my own urine for years. And I do it every single morning. And it helps to balance the body, and it receives those codes, and it's the perfect way to start the day. And throughout the day as well. But so go get some distilled water. My recommendation is to start on the distilled water and get your river saturated and flowing, and then move to urine. Okay? Build up your confidence and move to urine. It's mind over matter. I don't even think about it anymore, guys. Seriously. It's just part of my day. The truth is far stranger and more beautiful than fiction, because everybody's looking for the fountain of youth. Very few people realize that it's built into your own body temple. It's the fountain of youth. I started to tell a story earlier, and I apologize, I got distracted. So we've had 80-year-old people with white hair come in and do distilled water fasting, and all of the distilled waters have basically the same effect. The urine is more powerful because of the stem cells, but that distilled water, we've had, like I said, several 80 plus year old people start doing this, and totally white hair, and they report back, and all of a sudden they're starting to see salt and pepper. The color starts coming back in their hair. It's because it's going in, it's pulling out those inorganic dead molecules that are blocking as little leak points that make your body like one of those. You ever seen one of those static balls that's got looks like electricity coming out of it? It makes your body like that, but it's because it's leaking out all your energy, all your life force, all your chi. Your body is electrical, people. If you don't think so, how are you moving your finger? It's an electrical impulse going through your nervous system. But it's created by the field first. Space. So, clean out the minerals and you have a lot less of that electricity coming out of your sphere, your spatial field, and your body temple. It means you'll have more light and more life. So, let's begin. I'm going to give you your light codes first, then we'll do the balancing. Make sure you're in a comfortable position. Nod your head if you receive these light codes, or say it aloud. I receive these light codes. Let's proceed with the balancing of your chakras. First, I'm going to do this quickly so you can get on with your day. For the how-to, go back to the previous video, or my second video posted, advanced how-to daily balancing. I am here and I am there. I am perfect oneness with all those receiving this transmission and beyond. I am perfect oneness with the ley lines. I am perfect oneness with Mother Gaia. I am perfect oneness with the galactics. Ooh. 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 Mm-hmm. Kundalini all-seeing eye. Kundalini all-seeing eye. Kundalini all-seeing eye. Shiva. Yeah. Shua. Yeah. Shua. Yeah. Shua. Resurrection flame. Beloved alum of peace, from the zenith of the heavens, pour out the radiant golden oil of the pineal gland under the horizon of their world. You should feel very balanced and peaceful right now. Now I'm going to begin the chiropractic alignment of the spine and the neck and the joints. I am perfect oneness with all those receiving this transition. Whew. Whew, that was big energy there. Put in the comments down below if you felt that after this is over. Alright, now for your lower back. This should release some things around your crown and your third eye and your neck. Ooh. Now for the hips. Effulgence, effulgence, blaze, blaze, blaze. Balance, balance, balance. This is a very powerful, your ring fingers touching your thumbs and interlocked and folding your other fingers in. It's a very powerful, expansive connectivity and activity. For those of you with awareness, attuned enough, I share this with you that comes from my divine presence, Uriel, the fire of God, Atlas, the bearer of the heavens, in the name I am that I am, I come forth to light, to infuse into these. May that light spread into effulgence. These light codes spread as a divine, beautiful virus of enlightenment, of truth, the truth that sets them free. Friends, I love you. I love you. I love you. Like and subscribe. Have a blessed day.